Well, hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. It's great to see you, and it's great to be talking about Corvette and the 2025 production statistics. I look forward to this report every year. Thank you, National Corvette Museum, and thank you, Corvette Blogger, for sharing as well. And today I want to share some highlights from the 2025 Corvette production model year. And let's face it, it was a difficult year. It was a frustrating year. Many plant shutdowns, but that's preparing us for 2027 Grand Sport. We've been telling you guys for years, and I'm telling you next year that will be, my prediction is 35, maybe up to 40% focus. Okay, 40% is a little bold. I'm probably closer to the 35%. This car is going to fit right in between Stingray and E-Ray, and 2027 is going to be a fun year for us, so stay tuned for sure to the channel. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, and if you're looking for a car, make sure you email me at the address up on the screen. We are starting a Grand Sport waiting list. But the 2025 Corvette production model year came also with more frustrations with the delay in production, extension of production, the delay of ZR1, and then when they finally announced the ordering of ZR1, it was an absolute mess. In the 30 years I've been selling Corvette, I've never seen anything like it. And I was frustrated, I was embarrassed, but it was simply out of our control. So we did the best we could, and for the customers that we did do business with, I appreciate their understanding and their flexibility. Now the good news is, from my vantage point, 2026 production seems to be moving much more smoothly. Now there are a lot of constraints, and I'm very hopeful that that actually improves too as we continue moving forward. But let's look at some colors. I love this statistical data. This stuff I look forward to each and every year. Real quickly, a 2025 Corvette model breakdown. Stingray was number one at 52.7%, just over 13,000 cars. You can see Z06 was number two at 34%, E-Ray 12% at 3,100 cars, and ZR1, now you see the 180. We've been reporting the 110 cars. Remember, the 180 is going to be worldwide production. It'll be anything that they kept for General Motors, maybe the Heritage Center, CTF captured test fleet cars that may at one point circle back into retail inventory through the GM auctions. We'll have to keep you up to date on that. And then retail orders that the dealers actually took. And again, that's probably in that 110 range. But total ZR1s actually made that were not EX experimental VINs were 180 cars for 2025. That is really just mind-boggling to me. The model and body style breakdown. Look at Stingray Coupe and Convertible. 8,400 Stingray Coupes and 5,200 Stingray Convertibles. E-Ray Coupe, 1,300 to 1,700 Convertibles. Here's one that shocks me a little bit. The Z06 Coupe at 4,786 in the Coupes, 18.5%. Now the Z06 Convertibles, really close at 15.8% at 4,076 units. I really thought, being what the Z06 is, a street legal track car, that the Coupe would have been higher numbers. I'm just surprised that there's that close in disparity between the two models. Same thing for ZR1. You look at ZR1 Coupes, they're 115, and ZR1 Convertibles at 65. How about that? Now, by body style for the entire 2025 production, all four models, Coupes were at 56%, and Convertibles hanging in there in the mid-40s at 44%, which is fantastic. If you remember back in the C7 era, I saw Convertibles down as low as 12% and average really 13 to 16%, so this is great news. That's a great value story for sure. All right, the fun stuff. Let's look at the colors made for each model. Stingray Coupe and Convertible, the number one color was Arctic White. Number two was black. And number three was Torch Red. We're so used to seeing Torch Red being the number one color. Got some more breakouts coming up for you too as well. E-Ray Coupe and Convertible, number one was black. Number two, white. Number three was Red Mist. Now, looking at Z06 Coupe and Convertible, and I found this interesting, looking at color popularity, it is identical to Stingray. Number one was black, number two was white, and number three was Torch Red. Now, looking at the matrix on ZR1 Coupe and Convertible, and they are a little bit different in the color popularity, and that's understandable because the first and only car you saw for the longest time was competition yellow. Number one was black for ZR1s. Number two was competition yellow. Number three was Arctic White. Now I'm looking at some of the individual features on the car, and I was wrong on one feature. I want to share this with you guys. And actually all the features, all the colors, the seats, the calipers, you name it, anything ordered on a 2025 Corvette, we'll have that full link down below in the description of today's video. Looking at Stingray, Such a big, and we're going to do more videos on this, such a big conversation. Do I get Z51 or not? Everybody's, I got to get Z51, Z51. How popular was Z51 for 2025? Out of all Stingrays made, 47.5%. I guess the perception is there's a lot more Z51s. In fact, there really isn't. The non-Z51 that comes standard with all-season tires for the first time in the history of Corvette has now regained huge popularity. The BAZ Interior Stealth Package. Now, this is a big option for our store with my customers. I'm seeing it highly requested, but overall, for all 2025 production, only 28% chose that option. And I'm not sure if we mentioned it yet. 28% of what, Rick? Overall production, 25,835 Corvettes made for the 2025 model year. And here's another option. This is a big conversation. Every time I order a car, either for inventory or for you guys, the perception is, oh, you got to have it. But we've never had it before. It's the E60 front lift option. Looking at all 4 models for the 2025 production, it was more popular than not at 54.2%. And if I read the reports right, it looks like only 500, which is a lot, 520 Corvette Museum deliveries were done last year. And here's an option that I was wrong on. Every time I show you guys a customer send-off, Pat, we're looking at their spec or I'm looking at stuff that I ordered for inventory, and I've said several times, and I still believe it, that this option needs to be standard on the car, and that is the front grille guard screen protection. What was the percentage ordered on all models for 2025? Much lower than you would think. But however, with our inventory and our customers, it's 99%. Overall for Corvette in 2025 production, the VWE front grille guards, 16%. Thanks again for joining us today, everyone. We're looking real quickly at the 2025 Corvette production breakdown and some of the little more statistics, that color combination stuff. And again, if you want to see everything, the full spreadsheet, thank you to the National Corvette Museum. That link is down below in the description of today's video. Looking at Stingray, unique combinations. Guys, I don't want to take it away from you. And I know a lot of you say, hey, I have a one of one. It's easier to do now than it ever has been. Here's a couple unique color combinations. First with Stingray, looking at the coupe, competition yellow ordered with tension blue. There was one in a coupe. There was one in a convertible as well. You go to the E-Ray, there's all kinds of craziness there. Red Mist was ordered with Artemis interior. That's more of that. It was trying to be green, almost gray. There was one coupe ordered like that. And then in the Hysteria, in the convertible, red dipped interior. There was one ordered like that. There's a couple other number ones on there. You can see that screen, and again, you can see that link in the description if you want to sit there and just go, what? Somebody ordered? Yeah, great conversations at the car show, right? Looking at Z06 Coupe, there's number ones all over the board on this. Black interior with Artemis, white with Artemis. We've got Red Mist with red dipped, one car made. Seawolf Gray with Artemis. That's a clash. How about Sebring Orange? Sebring Orange with red dipped. Joe Lamb, I apologize, I was wrong. Sebring Orange also with what? Tension blue interior. Wow. Check out that link in the description. You guys are going to have a blast with this one. And lastly, ZR1. White had a lot of number ones. Of course, there wasn't that many cars made. White with a red dipped in a coupe was one. Tension blue, one in the coupe. Natural dip, one in the coupe. Rapid blue, only one coupe made with the tension blue and only one convertible. No, I apologize. There was no convertible made. Only one car. How can that be? One rapid blue ZR1 made only with tension blue. Congratulations, Mike, at Street Speed 717. How about that? Just a brief overview. This stuff is so much fun. I know you guys will too. I could look at this stuff for hours. I appreciate you guys joining us again today. Now, tomorrow on the channel, we are supposed to have, and we will share an impromptu Tech Tuesday with myself and Chuck, talking about and hopefully showing you how to do the recall repair on Z06s that have been sitting for 2 months.